In a few days, all over the world, people will think back to an event that shaped history more than any other. I'm talking of the crucifixion and resurrection of Jesus Christ, of course. And probably one of the central meanings attached to this is that of forgiveness. And so I think it's quite appropriate to remember a story that Jesus himself told about forgiveness shortly before he obtained forgiveness for all of us. Once upon a time, there was a king who decided to bring his accounts up to date with servants who had borrowed money from him. In the process, one of his debtors was brought in who owed him millions of pounds. However, this guy couldn't pay this huge sum back, and so according to the custom of the day, the king ordered that he should be sold as a slave, along with his wife, his children, and everything he owned, in order to pay the debt. And when this man heard this, he fell on his knees before the king and begged him with tears in his eyes, "Please, your majesty, be patient with me, and I will pay it all back." And when the king saw this, he was filled with pity for him, and he released him and actually forgave him his debt fully. He didn't have to pay back a single penny. And so the man left the king, but as he walked out of the palace, he saw a fellow servant who owed him only a few £1,000s. Immediately he grabbed this other guy by the throat and demanded instant payment. And so this fellow fell down before him and begged for a little more time and said, "Please, be patient with me, and I will pay it all back." But his creditor would hear nothing of it. Instead of being merciful, or at least giving him some time to get the money, he had a man arrested and put in prison until the debt could be paid in full. Some of the other servants saw what happened, and they were extremely upset about it, and they went to the king and told him everything that had happened. And the king then summoned the man he had forgiven and said, "You evil servant, I forgave you that tremendous, unpayable debt because you pleaded with me. Shouldn't you have mercy on your fellow servant just as I had mercy on you?" Then the angry king sent the man to prison to be tortured until he had paid his entire debt. And then Jesus ended his story with these chilling words: "That's what my heavenly Father will do to you if you refuse to forgive your brothers and sisters from your heart." So friends, may we all remember this Easter just how much we have been forgiven, but may it also spur us on to extend that same forgiveness to those around us with unpayable debt.